Age of Empires 3 was a strange and interesting game when it released, as it was the only Age of Empires game that I didn't really pay that much attention to upon its initial release, but when I eventually dived into that title a few years later, it became one of my favorite RTS titles of all time. Age of Empires 3 also took the franchise into a 3D route, moved away from the 2D pixel art that made the franchise so popular, and many say that it was the reason they moved on from the Age of Empires franchise as a whole. Like many games today, Age of Empires 3 received a remaster in the form of a definitive edition, and it kind of works, but in some cases it still looks a bit outdated. The updated visuals really does shine through, keeping in mind that this is more of a remaster than a remake, thus many of the original animations are still in place. You'd see the updated buildings and units battle about on the field, only for cubic chunks full of buildings, making you realize that this is in fact a 15-year-old title. Freeform base building allows you to build your town in almost any way you can imagine, sending villagers to gather resources from wood, food, lumber, and more in order to grow your empire and dominate the battlefield. Faction variations has always been a strong point in Age of Empires, and the definitive edition adds 2 more, each with unique and interesting bonuses. Sweden, for example, gets cheap mercenaries, while the Incas can garrison military in many of its buildings. There are many ways to play this game, and that is only the skirmish mode. The campaign is essentially split into 3 chapters, each taking a significant amount of time to complete, with in-game cutscenes and a story that will keep you somewhat intrigued until the very end. The voice and audio are much better from what I remembered, and the naval battles are by far the most visually impressive aspect of the game. In addition to the campaign, skirmish, and online multiplayer, there's also an Art of War section, much like in Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which challenges you to complete certain tasks within a specific time. It's a fun addition, but certainly one that I don't see myself going back to. The campaign is definitely the highlight of this title, and I wish they added a bit more, perhaps even a new expansion. You also have your main city hub, which you return to after each mission. You can upgrade areas and make it look better, but it doesn't really affect much of the game. You do have an experience level which allows for better cards that you can use during specific missions. During your hub screen, you can build new decks of units, resources or bonuses, which you can then use during a mission, and those cards in essence will grant you the bonus you selected for those decks. It makes for a nice micromanagement in between missions and can really help you out during a tough spot, especially when you can call in reinforcements when you are about to lose your base. Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition is a great reminder as to why the franchise was and still is one of the best in the RTS genre. With Age of Empires 4 not being far away, it is definitely a game that can keep you busy, and need I remind you that it is on Game Pass, so you could technically get this game, at least for 30 days, for as little as $1. That is pretty insane. Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition is a worthy remaster of the 2005 classic, and had I put a score on this, then I'd easily give it an 8 out of 10. I'd like to thank the publishers for providing me with a review key, and for more gaming content, check out the rest of my channel. If you enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, then give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the RedTieGuy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.